Welcome to Dynamic Thriving Audio Blog, where we're very spiritual with a good dose of practicality in support of your life transformation. This is your host, Mary Ann Pack, spiritual guide and oracle for the many. Today's audio blog is entitled, Is There Life After Leaving Church? Are you wanting to break free from the hypocrisy of the church you've experienced? Do you stay or do you go? Maybe you've already left the church. Have you been hurt by church dogma or its members? How do you handle the unbearable pain and sorrow? You've always loved the church, but now maybe the church teachings no longer resonate with your soul, and you feel the church has not joined the 21st century. You have grown in your spirituality and feel more open-minded and non-judgmental, but you're not seeing the church follow suit. You may feel that the old ways and teachings are not for your highest good anymore. Maybe you no longer feel the connection with the congregation that you once did. You feel left out, like you no longer fit in. You feel lonely and unsupported in your struggles. You may have sought counseling only to feel a door slammed in your face. Where do you turn? Have you suffered gaslighting in the church and were made to feel ostracized and abandoned and made to feel like you were the crazy, wrong one? Your words and sentiments were twisted and turned on you. If so, you are in the company of someone who also felt all these things and survived. Not only did I survive, but I've also been thriving ever since. I'm not here to sway you to leave your church or sway your beliefs. I simply want you to come to know joy in whatever decision you make in your quest for freedom and peace of spirit, mind, body. Yet more than likely, you may have already left your church, like I did years ago. We're in this together, and I'd love to clasp hands with you and hold the sacred space for you to thrive in every area of life. I was born and raised in a very strict Christian home. On the one hand, I loved the church and fellowship. On the other hand, it felt so smothering growing up with all the guilt and shame imposed on my beautiful butterfly soul. I loved the social aspects of a church community and connection, yet I grew to feel out of place with their beliefs and didn't know why. I simply couldn't obey all the rules and regulations of my religion, yet I pushed through for most of my adulthood. It wasn't until I reached a breaking point which allowed me to begin questioning my religious beliefs that had felt constrictive and overwhelming. I could never find the lasting peace they claimed would come if I only got saved. My joy and peace were on and off depending on my obedience, which was a tremendous struggle. I never knew if I had committed the unpardonable sin and doomed to eternal hell. Always on the lookout for the devil trying to thwart my walk, I was an emotional wreck for so many years. What a nightmare way to live, in fear and trembling before what I was taught to be a loving and forgiving God. It was like there were two sides to this God, the loving and forgiving side and the punishing, vengeful side. How could God be both? How could God be kind and hateful at the same time? Was he schizophrenic? I hold a biblical studies degree, so I have a very good understanding of the Bible. I love to study and have spent years and years studying for hours while my two sons did their homeschool work. I could defend any church dogma with scriptural support. Yet I was also miserable in my relationships, health, finances, and spirituality. But I persevered because that's what good Christians do, right? I was witness to so many in the church who were not following the rules. They talked a good talk, but their walk was far from a righteous walk. I couldn't understand how some congregants could live in such hypocrisy, even ministers and pastors. Was there really a double standard? Was it okay to not follow the rules and still be a Christian? Such confusion. I won't get into all the ins and outs of my spiritual journey right now, but I will let you know that I questioned, eventually left the church, and didn't die. Sometimes we think if we change anything that serious, it will literally kill us. But I'm here to tell you, it won't kill you. Actually, it may lead you to freedom, love, hope, and the most beautiful life of thriving in peace that passes all understanding. It certainly didn't come all at once. It took me years to evaluate my beliefs and discover which ones I couldn't sustain. Taking an honest look at what I believed and why I was tearfully emotional. Some days I felt crushed under the burden of questioning everything I'd been taught since childhood. What if I'm wrong? What if Christianity is the only path to God? What if I lead my little family astray? Will we all go to hell? Because that's what I was being told. Leave the church? Or even question your beliefs? And that's your one-way ticket to hell for eternity. After a few years of questioning, I came to the conclusion that the church no longer served my highest spiritual good. It's taken years to install new beliefs that I felt were more aligned with my soul. I am continually working through this process as old limiting beliefs arise and that don't resonate. Now I'm creating the life and belief system that I love and enjoy. Sure, I've lost many friendships. I even lost relationships with family members, and I eventually divorced too. But you know what? I'm happier and at peace now more than I've ever known during my church years. I have new friends that understand me and my spiritual enlightenment. I have a wonderful soulmate in my husband now that cherishes me and our deep, rich conversations regarding spirituality. Am I still working on myself? You betcha. There isn't a destination to be reached. It's all about the joyful journey. I've come to understand that we're all here to experience as much joy as possible. I now realize who I really am as an extension of source energy, which is my replacement name for the God of my childhood. Now I believe I am pure goodness. I am worthy of all goodness. I believe I was born in innocence, full of light and love, not wicked and full of original sin. I believe my soul, my spirit, is an extension of God, source energy, the infinite intelligence. I am deserving and blessed. I am unconditional love in the flesh. I am joy. Do you believe these things about yourself? If not, let's join forces and remember who we really are as God force in the flesh. Let's look beyond what scriptures tell us and into the true meaning, not just from a literal interpretation. Let's think new thoughts and receive from our inner being, our souls, our spirits, their true message of love and adoration. We have been told lies about who we really are as pure light and love beings. We were told that we needed a mediator between ourselves and God. We were told that we were not righteous enough to please God. We were told we were full of sin and needed to be saved. We were told to simply take some teachings on blind faith without clear understanding. We were held under control by fear of eternal damnation. Yet we persevered. We want to be part of a community. We need that fellowship. We don't want to lose our friends and family relationships. We want to serve. Some of us even feel a call to minister. But how? Where? When? If you're like me, we are uplifters, teachers, and healers at the core of our being. We know we have so much love to share. We love helping others, but right now we're confused and don't know where to turn for guidance. Let's get to the truth of life. What we're really here for, what we've come to experience, and that it's all about love and joy. The church doesn't have to hurt. You can find joy in staying or by leaving. You can find peace in your spirit, mind, body, and it's easier than you may think. It's simply a matter of checking in with how you feel as you think your way to new heights of joy through appreciation of everything you've experienced and will experience in the future as you create your own reality into freedom. This disruption affects every area of our lives: relationships, health, finances, and of course, our spirituality. This turmoil can have devastating effects on our relationships. Our health can deteriorate because of the stress and deep emotions that erupt. We can get so confused that it affects our ability to think clearly in our jobs or family finances. It feels like we'll never rectify our spirituality or religious beliefs. It can be overwhelming and so painful. Again, I know it will get better. I searched and studied, cried and laughed my way to the perfect spiritual path for me. Let me help you find your own personal spiritual path that feels like joy, unspeakable and full of glory. I wished I'd had someone like me when I was going through all the questioning, studying, and deciding what to do. Because I've worked through this painful time in my life over the last many years and into thriving spiritually, I am ready to guide you into your next steps in finding abiding peace and joy in your own heart and life. If you are interested in joining a spiritual community where I'll be coaching you through this painful transition to joyfulness, I would love to hear from you. I'm gathering information from those who may be interested. I want to understand what you need to receive within this supportive community. I need to understand your story and where you want to be in the future, how you want to feel, and what you want to experience in life. I want to understand how to best serve you on your quest for peace and joy. We all long for connection and community. We long for the fellowship of like-minded people. We long for understanding and feeling worthy of the goodness we desire. We want to understand who we are in this world and how to find lasting peace and live a joyful life. If you are interested in helping me create this spiritual member-based coaching community, please complete and submit the questionnaire. This questionnaire will help me understand you better and what you may need along this spiritual journey. There's no commitment to join the community. This is simply for me to gather information and see if there is interest. You will find the link to the questionnaire in the show notes. If this blog post has resonated with you, please like, comment, and be sure to subscribe to our podcast. This is Marianne Pack, your spiritual guide and fellow recovering churched.